So here we are again about my virus X. I mean, 4 days ago I had in Finnish this. So then I was thinking also have this in English same. Even the book is still not translated in English, but I have like 5-6 chapters translated this On a Verge of Destruction, Virus X. So maybe next year I'm gonna have this English version out of this book, and maybe I'm gonna read a prologue in English, but maybe the translation is not perfect yet, but anyway, let's try to read that the beginning. So in my book series, it's supposed to get the world gonna change as a post-apocalyptic world. So it's like what usually happen in zombie stories or whatever. Or usually when the future world is usually very bad in many stories. Okay. Same gonna happen in a Resident Evil game series example, or the Last of Us game series, or Metro game series, or wherever, or The Walking Dead. So let's go on A Verge of Destruction, Virus X prologue. 6th May 1984, X Creations Corporation. The secretive X Creations Corporation had started its operations in 1977. Its founder was the Egyptian Abraham Imlicalius, who was 50 years old at the time. He had created C-virus in 1979, which American Tony Adams began working starting in 1986. Abraham had died in a mysterious explosion accident on 2nd April 1984. Sudanese woman Maya Sipla Maris had worked as Abraham's colleague from 1977 to 1985. The Z virus was not yet as unique as at the time as it was in 2024. It was able to change the size of insects. Maya has particular especially interested in spiders, which were collected by several different species for research purposes. This secret research facility was located deep in the Sudanese jungle in a large cave. Their actions were against the law, which is why their location was classified. Excretions expanded considerably during the 90s to China, Norway, and America. So because the English is not my mother language, so maybe I'm more slow to read this than usually when I read in Finnish. But anyway, I'm not in a hurry, so no stress. So here I'm continued reading this prologue. So Egon the Conserve had just found that cave. His mission would be to eliminate Abraham Imlicalius and shut down excretions. Egon from Eritrea was a member of a secret organization that investigated unexplained events. The organization was called AXF, or African X-Wars. It had started operating in 1975. Egon's father, Muhammad the Conserve, was its founder and director, who himself no longer participated in the duties. Its headquarters were in Eritrean capital Asmara. In addition to his son, the task force in 1984 included two other members, Mikael Mariam and Jasmine Draconias. Jasmine Draconias was 23-year-old Sudanese doctor who was great fighter for a woman. Michael Mariam, who was 3 years younger, was originally from Nigerian capital Abuja and was no worse at fighting. The members of the group did not yet have much experience of anything other than fighting other people. Excretions was a whole new kind of threat. Young Chinese scientist Zheng Ligang dreamed of creating a zombie, and he had just started at excretions in 1982 in China. He had been friends with Tony Adams and Abraham Imlicalius since 1969. At that time, they decided to create excretions to develop viruses for wide range of uses and to create bioweapons. They wanted to keep their operations top secret. Such action could one day come to threaten the whole world, or if I have put it corrected, but anyway. AXF advanced into a cave with the entrance to the temple. They found an excavation slab built with spider webs, and scientists were all encased in webs. Apparently, they'd been dead for a week. They have been dead for weeks. It was clear that experiments with spiders had failed, and the danger would become very great in nature. Or future. Or I don't like this at all. There is something seriously wrong here. There are spiders on the loose here, and I don't know how big they have been made and how many there are. Ekon explained, tightening his grip on the pump action shotgun. I see 9 cocooned people. It takes a spider of our size to do that, Michael said. He's been studying spiders and their behavior since he was a little boy. They had no idea how the C virus affected them. Suddenly, blue spiders began to descend from the ceiling of a cave above the temple. This species is called Lion celadon, Brazilian jewel tarantula. Their blue color is beautiful, at least for those who like spiders. A valuable addition to possible pet collection, except not in this size. Their hairy legs were 2 meters long and 20 centimeters thick. Be that as it may, now was not the time to stay and admire them or be eaten. Oh, maybe there's some mistakes, but whatever. But go back. Go back to this later and check. I mean, this is not the final version, so there might be still some mistakes there. Or I'm just very bad to spelling them. I mean, they opened fire on them. There were 20 of them, but there were double the number of apartments. I mean, where the spiders was inside before. The bodies of all of them were the size of human bodies, except for the legs. Jasmine fired her assault rifle at them and threw a hand grenade. Ekon used his shotgun while Mikael used 2 submachine guns and a machete for melee. It might have been a mistake to send only a small group of 3 here. They focused their fire on the their tail end of the spiders when it was their weakest point. The shooting was also dangerous as the spider explosion flew their poison around. The poison of spiders this big was acidic. They killed those spiders without any problems. If the arrival of the spiders had been a surprise, this could have ended another way. AXF was always well repaired for everything possible. Egon's team was efficient and intelligent, such that's what would be needed to stop X Creations Corporation. They were big, Jasmine concluded, but not very intelligent tacticians. Mikael added. He was one of the few white Africans. Yet they must not spread into the jungle in that size. We are going to plan the explosions and get the hell out of here. We need to make sure that all of the test individuals I don't even know how to say that, whatever, are destroyed, Egon explained. None of them were scared to death of spiders, which is why the mission went well. After the C4 explodes were planted, they thoroughly searched the lab area. Egon found secret documents and browsed them. He opened a page that said something interesting. There is no one to watching this. Oh, see, the Lowell is here at least. Welcome. So let's continue still this prologue. What does it say, Egon? Jasmine added. Well, for example, this page says 7th September 1983. We have now created first science mods whose intelligence is not yet at the desired level. Therefore, they are destroyed and the development of variants of the Z virus continues. The Mothman project can't come through yet. Written by Abraham Implicalius. This is what it say here. What about you, Mikael? Egon explained. "23 January 1984. The creation of blue giant spiders has been successful, and we will soon move on a human experimentations. My colleague Maya Siblamaris has agreed to act as a guinea pig in this experiment. There is a high risk of dying, Abraham Implicarius note. This what is here, Mikael replied. How could someone agree to something like that? Asked Jasmine. That woman is a madman, though. There's one more entry at the end. 17th March 1984. I noticed changes in Maya Siplamaris' body. She no longer has only 2 legs, but 4 in all. At the end of the experiment, her lower body would belong to a spider, and the upper body would still be partly human. A note by Abraham Imlicalius. Absolutely sick, Econ explained. They found recent explosion on 2nd April 1984 to wreak havoc on the dwellings of the test specimens, so that they had been released. Nah, I'm not spelling so well, but have to practice more. But anyway, hope you get something out of that. Anyway, but Maya murdered Abraham Imlicalius and fled, Mikael guessed. Very good. It crossed my mind too, Econ added. No, what kind of worm that woman has in a month ago? Jasmine said. They had also previously encountered giant insects in 1983, same year when I was born. In another excretions laboratory, but they had been imprisoned. Scorpions the size of a normal domestic cat, ants, cockroaches, and spiders. Before that, they'd only encountered people. A spider-phobic or arachnophobic person, or do I supposed to say spider-phobic or whatever, but would have died here in a heart attack before could have even shot them. Now they have left and flew up the cave. The entrance to the cave has blocked, and if there were any more spiders, they wouldn't get out of there. Father, the mission is complete. they were all dead almost a month ago. Abraham Implicalius had also died in explosions. In explosion. But Maya Siblamaris is missing and probably still alive. Over. Egon said to the walkie-talkie. We need to find that woman, Egon. But good job. There's a helicopter waiting for you at the rendezvous point. Over, that replied. So that was the so the connection was lost. The internet. What the hell? I seems to have lost internet again. Again. Obviously here in Tromsø we have serious problems of internet. See. So anyway, I can talk here even everything comes on this video even when the internet is down, but that's why I record this, just to be sure that I get this video. So seems like let's see here, getting back online. So here I'm back again after having these fucking bad internet problems here, that everything go to hell, like but anyway, let's go now to let's play my song now. It fits very well here now when my arachnophobia song. So let's hear it now. Let's hear that song. Okay. Just a second. Here we go.
Screaming in terror if I ever even know what I
Arachnophobia.
I was happy and terrified at the same time. Arachnophobia. Nomophobia. Arachnophobia. Nomophobia. Arachnophobia. Nomophobia. Arachnophobia.
Nomophobia. Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. Arachnophobia. No more phobia. No more arachnophobia. Arachnophobia. Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. Let's play the second song also. Crazy. So fucking crazy.
So fucking crazy.
And I'm getting crazy.
Crazy. World is getting crazy. So fucking crazy.
Zombies are coming.
Crazy. So fucking crazy.
Monsters are coming. Science insects are coming. Unstoppable zombies are coming. Unstoppable zombies are coming. Unstoppable zombies. Zombies are coming.
Where are we going?
Zombies are coming.
Virus makes us afraid.
Mothman is coming.
World is going down big time.
Woman spider is coming.
Super crazy.
Scorpion man is coming.
Totally crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy world. Crazy, crazy, crazy world.
Crazy racy X-Virus.
Crazy world.
Crazy X-Virus.
Virus makes us afraid.
Virus X.
World is going down big time.
On the verge of destruction.
Crazy, totally crazy. Crazy is my name.
Crazy is my name.
I am super crazy.
Super crazy. Super
Crazy
crazy.
is my name. I am super crazy. Yeah. Super crazy. Super crazy. Super crazy. Hey, yeah. World is getting very, very crazy. getting very, very crazy.
Very, very crazy, very, very crazy, very, very crazy.
Very, very crazy, very, very crazy.
Virus X.
World is getting very, very crazy, very, very crazy, very, very crazy.
We are
Yeah.
on the verge of destruction. On the verge of destruction.
Crazy, crazy,
Crazy, crazy, crazy, crazy.
crazy,
So fucking crazy.
crazy, so fucking crazy.
Crazy, crazy, crazy world. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
So fucking crazy.
So fucking crazy, yeah.
Crazy. So fucking crazy.
Hey, yeah.
Crazy, crazy, crazy world. Crazy, crazy, crazy world.
Crazy is my name.
Crazy world. Where are we going?
Crazy is my name.
World is going down big time.
Ha, 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 ha.
Super crazy, hyper crazy, totally crazy. Super crazy,
Hyper crazy, totally crazy.
crazy is my name. I am super, super, super crazy.
Crazy is my name.
Super, super, super crazy.
Zombies are coming.
Super, super, super crazy. Super, super,
X-Virus. Virus X.
Very, very crazy, very, very crazy.
World is getting Virus X. On the verge of destruction.
World is getting crazy.
On the verge of destruction.
Crazy. And I'm getting crazy. So fucking crazy.
Crazy is my name.
Crazy. World is getting
This
crazy.
is too long song.
So fucking crazy.
This is too long song. This is too long. This is too long.
Crazy, crazy.
I really get crazy when I listen this song. I'm getting so fucking crazy. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crazy is my name. So that was very crazy now. So so that's basically based on Corona, but I mixed it a little bit for fit more for this. So I don't know, this connection was totally shit because there is no any people to watching this. It's just 0 people watching this, so there have to be something really seriously wrong. Because almost no one watched this in Finnish and no one watched this in English, so this internet is totally Sorry, I'm cursing too much, so better stop cursing so much. So, let's jump a little bit forward to I'm gonna read about chapter 1. I'm chapter 2. Skipping the chapter 1 this time, but it's not like I was gonna read this in order the all. So let me say something like about the On a Verge of Destruction Virus X. It's like a zombie story, but there is also these characters like a Mothman, a Scorpion Man, or Woman Spider, who are like half, their body is half human and half insect, except cannot call exactly scorpions and spiders as an insect, but anyway, they all are bugs, but and of course for some people very disgusting creatures. And if you imagine imagine them as a big size as a human, so how dangerous they would become. Like example, if we still have dinosaurs on this planet, then we will be also big danger with the giant insects. It's a really same situation, but kind of. So so let's go to that chapter 2 now. I try to spell it as best as I can, but of course I'm not perfect with my English spelling, but anyway. Chapter 2, 13th March 2024. So we jump like 40 years forward for this chapter. After Ping Poing's virus tests. In 2024, scientist Zheng Likang worked in a secret excretions laboratory in the town of Ping Poing, city of Ping Poing. So this is the city I have made myself. It's not a real city. Like example, Raccoon City from Resident Evil is not real, or even Gotham City from Batman is not real, but like just my own city, like that. So it had been 40 years since the first and hopefully the last female spider was created. And the woman who was half spider and half woman. Yes. Half human. Sipla goddess had given birth a new cult that believed in this. They'd never seen it for real. Zheng Ligang had tested the X virus 3 months ago on a monkey capable to spitting out dust particles that effectively spread the virus. So the monkey's code name was Infector. This is kind of funny because when I have read that 2.5 years ago, and now they actually talk about that some monkey, that monkey thing, whatever. Monkey virus or whatever it is, but never mind. But as it is, Zheng Li did not intend to use it, but would be best implanted in a human body. X Creations had planned to initially spread the X virus to China and America. X virus would be a new weapon for biological warfare. Something unprotected. Zheng Li didn't care about human lives at all. 2 months ago, Zheng Li had successfully implanted the virus in humans. He had been developing a virus since the 90s that would turn a person into a zombie. He wasn't the only one who developed one. He had turned it into a kind of variation that would turn the infected into one of he named the main infector. Alright. This is going to work better than I expected. I'm already noticing changes in the test unit. Test subject 4 hours after the virus infection. The transformation process is very aggressive, and the test individual is confined to the safe room. The infection would therefore not be detectable yet when the carrier boarded a plane, train, or ship, he explained on his voice recorder. Good job, Zheng Ligang, one of his colleagues said. We are going to change the world forever. The X virus is my parting gift to the world. I have just created the world's worst zombie. Or something even better. Evolution is rising to a new level. Send one guinea pig into the dungeon to Project X. No, don't put me in there with that monster! Cried, yelled guinea pig number 6. The guards threw this in the dungeon. Guinea pigs were originally people who were here against their own will. Imprisoned. Their names weren't used. Zheng Li Gang was going to infect them all with the virus. All 27 of them. No one had stopped him from taking people off the streets of Pingpoing. A man was about to do something big, and his last mission would be to become a monster himself. Even as a human being, he was already a monster. It wouldn't be a good idea to mess with virus like that. Virus like this. How long could he keep that monster locked in jail? Guinea pig number 6 came back to life, changed from the dead. Project X didn't attack man who turned into a zombie. They both tried to get out of there. Project X was an American young woman. Zheng Li was left alone outside the dungeon with his voice recorder. Do we have still internet connection here? Do we have? Yeah, we have, but no one watching this anyway. What's the point to have internet connection if there's no one even watching it? But anyway, the video is coming out in my YouTube channel after this, so no problem. That you can enjoy and watch it later whenever you have time. So the most interesting thing is that Project X doesn't attack the person they have moved in. Oh, there is some mistakes, whatever. They are bound by natural desire to attack me. Their intelligence can grow over time. If they are allowed to develop peacefully for weeks, months, or even years, what would that mean in practice? What that would mean? I'm talking about evolutionary theory. This is not a new kind of terrorism. It is purely evolutionary. The dead come back to life. And this isn't magic. It's purely science. This is not a science fiction. It is a reality. I will get back to you tomorrow, he said, stopping the voice recorder. the next day he infected all his subjects with the virus and they were confined to dungeons. He left them the guards in a secret lab were all armed, well armed. There were 15 of them in the main laboratory on this ground floor. They carried M4 assault rifles as their main weapons, and the secondary standard weapon was a shotgun. On other floors, there were significantly fewer guards, 5 or 7 per floor. There were no guards at the exit, but automatic miniguns that would come out if someone attacked. It's not just anyone who could attack here. The dungeons were only located behind a couple of titanium doors. Or it's kind of prison underground facility, kind of. Even if his creations got out of the dungeon by accident, the titanium doors would keep them away from scientists. In addition to Zheng Li and Li, 3 other scientists worked on this floor. This main lab was located at the depth of 1 kilometer. The floor was called P6, which was accessible by elevator. There were stairs here. On floors P1 and P2 were the sleeping quarters of the staff. Many rarely left purely for security reasons. The people of Ping Poyang had no idea of of such an institution. Floors P3 and P4 had smaller laboratories and arsenals. On floor P5 there were dining areas and a main control room from which all activities were monitored 24/7. The X-virus itself was stored in a refrigerator in the main laboratory, whatever. But I'm gonna continue this chapter. It's very long chapter, but let's have a little break with my only song from last year. our distraction. Drink. One of my best drumming in this song I made the last couple of years.
COVID-19 virus has almost stopped us from living already. World is ready to explode, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for our destruction. Get ready for our destruction. Get ready for our distraction. Self-destruction.
Our self-destruction.
The destruction of our society. Or has the world become our hell already? Are we so blind that we cannot see that the flames are burning? Then hell is our home already. Destruction is here, my friends.
I still gonna have one song in the end from based on Virus X, of course. So let's continue this chapter 2. Becoming my new character again. Coming. A Japanese female DX ancient was on to Sengli-gang, named Jinx Nagasaki. She knew about this secret facility and was correctly watching the entrance. She knew about the miniguns and was prepared to destroy them. The woman was very beautiful, half Chinese, half Japanese woman with samurai blood flowing inside. She had never met her real father, who was born in China sometime in late 50s. The surname Sakanagi came from mother who had died in 2001. She had been murdered, but the perpetrator was never found. The case was still on the list of unsolved crimes. Jinx had recently turned 36 and had worked as a DX agent for a total of 14 years, starting in 2010. DX was a secret police anti-terrorism unit established in 1996. What happened to be the same year exactly when the first Resident Evil game was released, and I was very terrified in that mansion back then when I played that game, because I never didn't know what is expect behind the next door coming at you. So back then I was very scared when I was only 13. Always will remember that time. It had repelled numberless terrorist attacks here in China, Japan, South Korea, Africa and Europe, which the news anchors never dreamed of. Social media didn't know about those operations, and that's good. There was desire to contain public panic. The agents had done real heroics, and they weren't allowed to tell anyone about them. DX had never fought just bioterrorism, which these scientists were now designed under Sengli-gang. Jinx Sakanagi was a great martial arts expert for a woman. She had learned the paths of samurai and ninjas. She always carried with her katana sword, which was part of her equipment. She had combat knives around her ankles, around his waist. She had a gun holster for her Desert Eagle pistol. The M4 assault rifle was attached to her back, left to the sword. Her blue dyed hair was neatly worn in two ponytails, and she always wore completely black lipstick on her lips. Her hip, she had a light bulletproof vest inside a long black leather jacket. The bulletproof vest's squeezed a little over her breasts. But what about what the hell? There is really bad mistakes here. This translation, obviously, a lot to fix here, seems like. But I have time. She had height of 167 centimeters, but often she wore heels to look taller. The woman's weaponry was relatively heavy, but she had muscles just like many men. But that didn't make her bigger. She wasn't too skinny either. Or there was a little meat around her ass. A lot of men like that will. A lot of men would have liked to have. What the hell? A lot of men would like to have that belong a woman who's sitting on their laps. She looked so sexy. She could easily use more than just Chinese. She could easily have others than just Chinese men, including Yuha. Like me, what the hell? She took good care of both of her appearance, her health, and her fighting condition. She had been in the army when she was 17 years old. She had no husband, no children because of the dangerous nature of her work. She had had numerous boyfriends, but now she prioritized her work. She doesn't need a man. Good sex wasn't everything either. More than sex, she enjoyed her martial arts sessions. She was accompanied by a group of 4, including 2 other women, May and Sherry. and two men, Jackie and Yet. Their equipment included M4 assault rifles, pistols and knives. If necessary, they would call in reinforcements to help. But they have conducted many operations on their own. Just the 5 of them. They have been working together for 6 years. They all love their jobs, and Sheikh Sakanagi was the most excellent boss. Oh my god, it's with this way I'm trying to spelling English. It's like take forever to read one chapter even, because I have to read it so much more slow than Finnish. I mean, of course, I mean, and I'm not sure if it's clear either what I try to say here, but like I say, I just try my best. I cannot be perfect. But no one expect me to be perfect. This is not like anything official. This is a little bit like unofficial, like whatever. But, anyway, let's continue. May and Sherry, are you ready for action? Asks Jinx. Hell yeah, Sherry replied. We are always ready. I was born ready, May replied with a laugh. A little humor, I see, Jinx added with a smile. I'm going to destroy those miniguns with C4 in no time, Yet said. What exactly is waiting for us down there, Jinx? Jackie asked. Probably dead. But that's what have been always waiting us. This could be the most dangerous operation together so far. One of us might even die, Jackie, little one. Jinx replied, giving him a kiss on the cheek. She used to kiss Jackie even though they didn't have any relationship. At least you mustn't die, Jinx. I couldn't bear to see your lifeless body, Jackie said. I'm going to die like the rest of you sometime. I'm not a vampire, you know, Jinx added. And You're a vampire, Jinx. You still look like you're in your 20s, even though you are approaching middle age, Jet concluded. Boys, leave her alone, Seri said. Yes, the time has come to stop Zhengli Gang, whatever he's going to the Pingpoing residence he captured down there. Bioweapons tests or whatever. We must stop it. We are going. The time is at hand. Jinx said. Jet detonated a C4 plastic explosives, destroying the miniguns and the main door. They went inside and blackened out the cameras. Someone is attacking. They destroyed the miniguns. And we lost visual contact with the first floor. Over. The man in the control room informed Zheng Li on a walkie-talkie. Don't worry, they won't be able to get to me. If you do your job well, stop them quickly. The strike team is probably small, 4 or 5 people. Over, Zheng Li replied. Who would attack with just a small force? Over, the man asked. An exceptionally skilled mercenary group. I heard TX could be on to us. Be careful. Over. Yes, sir. We can shoot well. Over. The intruders arrived on the B1 floor and started a fierce firefight with the guards. 5 guards were a tough opponents thanks to their fierce firepower. This is how many of them were on the B1 floor. The group of 3 moved closer together to the intruders, while the remaining 2 retreat a bit. The other guard had scoped rifle instead the shotgun. Jet and Saki fired their M4 assault rifles as the women tried to get around the guard's flank. Seri, stay here for fire support. I'm going into the vent and you, May, are coming with me, Jinx explained. Climbed into an air dock that might lead behind the guards if they were lucky. Saki ran suddenly to them. What is it, Saki? May asked. Yet is dead. Someone shot him in the head with the scoped rifle. There was nothing I could do, sorry, Jinx. We got two cards. What's the plan? Saki said. It's not your fault, Saki. We couldn't expect this much resistance. We can't wait for them to send backup. We don't know the number of cards. Sherry and Saki, you're going to get the guards' attention on yourself. And I'm going to this air duct with May. Hurry up. Hurry up before they see us. The direct firefight didn't work here. Things explained and left. Surrender! We already killed one of you. I did. If you want to leave, I will let you pick up your friend's body and leave, yelled the guard who killed Yet. Saki's answer was rapid fire towards the guard. But the bullets hit the bulletproof vest. I didn't die, nice try. So you come here to fight, you got it. Sherry fired in turn but couldn't even hit the guards. Guards, what's the status on P1? Over. Zheng voice asked. We are only up against 2 or 3 enemies. We killed one and 2 of us died. They can't get past us easily. We will take care of this. Over. I believe you, but I will send 3 men to your aid in 5 minutes. Over. And the connection is closed again. There. Very nice. Internet connection is lost. So this is very bad, but let's try to get that damn connection again. So I try to get back online again. So here I'm back again. Here I'm back again with suffering this shit internet connections here in Tromsø. So I'm still continuing to reading this chapter 2 after like forever. So 3 minutes later, Jinx descended silently from the air duct behind the cart with the katana in her hands. She used it to slit the throat of another cart while May approached another cart with a knife. The last cart spotted uh, the killing and shot at May, who used a dead guard as her shield. As the guard was shooting at the woman, the blade of Jinx's sword was already sticking out of the guard's chest. She had pierced the bulletproof vest with her sword, which may have suddenly seemed difficult. How did you do that? May asked. Magic. The elevator arrived and the door opened. The Jinx burst in, throwing her sword at the three guards, who didn't have time to shoot the woman because of her speed. The elevator was big enough for her to get space to shift got one head. Got the one guard's head off and the other's leg. The guard fencing his assault rifle as if it were a sword. It seems like on this chapter my translation ends here, so it's not complete totally, but I have a little bit still left to what I can read here. Let's see. I obviously had, for this live stream, I had the time like 3 hours, but I think I'm gonna stop it like little earlier than that, so it's not necessary to use the whole 3 hours. So like you can see there on the right side of the picture, you can see the name Virus X from my hardcover book that is now in Finnish, but my plan is to, after 1 year, have this like translated the whole book in English, if possible, and then releasing it also through the Amazon like I did with this one. So I will get back to you also next year when I have that version, when I gonna have it. So but it's going to the chapter, I think it's in the final book it's chapter 7, what was originally the very first chapter I made for this book 2.5 years ago. It was the prologue originally. So 13th April 2000 24. Pingpoing Airport. Emilia Black sat in a taxi on her way to the airport and spoke on her phone. Hey daddy, I'm in a cab and soon at the airport. I miss you. Emilia was 24 years old and she was pretty looking brunette who already looked almost like she must have been a lot of boys' dreams. As the sexy young woman she was going to. Oh, it seems like this my English version translation is from my old version of this chapter. So there is little differences between this and. But I read this anyway because I don't have that. I haven't updated that. So. Because the problem here is like Emilia was first like 18 years old, but then I changed her as a 24 years old woman. So that's why I said here like a girl, but she was remarkably like Megan Fox in the first two Transformers movies. Under a leather jacket, a t-shirt from her favorite band, Iron Maiden's Power Slave album was revealed. That was a very pretty Egypt-themed cover photo. Emilia was a passionate metal music lover. Her favorite bands were Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slipknot, and Camelot. She had met many Chinese boys on a study trip. She had introduced them to metal music. I will wait you here at home, Emilia. Have a good flight, my girl. I will see you tonight, Daddy. 15 hours. It was just after 8 a.m. in the morning. She put lead lipstick on her lips when she had not time to do it before. Didn't have time to do it before. Have you been along in ping-ponging? If you don't mind me asking, taxi driver said. Just under 6 months. Back home. Is it America? US, yes. I missed it. But this conversation I have erased from my other version. So let's just skip it. She just there's nothing special. She just asked, can I smoke a cigarette? Emilia did not usually smoke, but she was now carrying a bag from her friends. Once she mocked them all, she would stop again. It is just a nasty habit, and you get so easily addicted. Emilia's friends Daniel and Michelle were waiting for her outside the airport. Here you come. Do you miss home yet, Emilia? Michelle asked. I miss Dad a little bit. Salty Rock is at its most comfortable this time of year. I'm going to have coffee over there, Daniel concluded. Enough to be in China, Michelle. Now we girls are leaving this boring place. Ping poing. Hell yeah. The flight to Salty Rock leaves in an hour, was alert in Chinese. What are you going to do first when you get home, Emilia? Well, I will hug my dad, eat something good, and sleep for a crazy long time. I want to have sex with my boyfriend, if I still have one. Steven will take you. My dear Michelle. But Emilia, why haven't you ever been with Daniel like I was with Steven? Sex? Well, not Daniel. See, he's just a friend. That's all. He's not my type. What's your type then? A tough guy? Criminal? Bad boy? Heavy metal guy? I'd take heavy metal guy, a long-haired guy, or a Viking beard guy. I still wouldn't take a fat guy, and I wouldn't take a criminal. You should take it anyway. I certainly wouldn't, Emilia said, playfully hitting her friend in the back. What about you girls here? What you what the hell? Very bad translating, have to fix that later. There was bad coffee here, by the way, Daniel said. We didn't do anything, we waited for you, Emilia replied with a smile. Michelle was 24-year-old blonde who had known Emilia since childhood. They had been hanging out with Daniel, who was in his 20s, for 7 years. At the time, Daniel, along his brother Robert, was moved to Salty Rock from the noise of the larger city, Salt Lake City. One of the Daniel's favorite hobbies was karate, and he had received black belt last year. His muscular body would have been many girls' likings, but Emilia did not think that relationship between them would work. How do you know without trying it? Oh, this is obviously. This is the old version because it's obviously not to talk about me, because in my new version I also know, I mean, I'm there in a book in a character. I actually know this Emilia, so she was also talk about me. So she wasn't sure if she take that Daniel or if she gonna be with me. But anyway, well, it's kind of funny thing to be with myself there in a book. Also, it was very funny idea. So I started to like so much my characters that I wanted to be there with them. So, but this is very long chapter, and obviously haven't fixed it. Let's see if there is still something I can read. There is not so. I think there is not much now what I can read from this, basically, because I haven't translated so much more. So I think it start to be soon time to ending this live stream, and anyway, the people who wasn't here with me today, you can watch it anytime in a, like I said, in my YouTube channel I will have this video, and anyone can watch it later, so it's not going anywhere. So let's play in the end the song of Virus X.
Virus X.
Enjoy, if you can.
Everyone monsters evolve and get smarter. This is the Virus X. This is Virus X, made by humans. This is like Resident Evil video game. This is like Resident Evil video game. This is going to be my book trilogy. Virus X. Are you ready to meet Emilia Black? Are you ready to meet Scorpion Man? Are you ready to meet Butterfly Man? Are you ready to meet Spider-Woman? Forget the slow zombies and get ready for real monsters. Virus, virus, everyone will die. Virus, virus, elimination begins. Virus, virus, our legs stick to begins. This is the virus that will make mankind extinct. Ex-creations want to destroy us with this deadly virus. This is the bioweapon against us. Make it China. Virus X. Killer virus is here. Are you ready to die? In fact, mankind is virus that needs to die. This virus makes us zombies and mutated monsters. In time, those monsters evolve and
That song is a little too long. That 8.5 minutes is really too long. Even it's my own opinion. That's enough for listen that. So, and the whole point of this thing wasn't, this live stream wasn't my songs, what I have made, but about my On a Verge of Destruction Virus X book. So, but what I can say you about this Virus X book is that it's very clear if you like a Resident Evil franchise, you will like this also, because it's really, Resident Evil games are really inspired me to making this story, because especially after we get now that terrible Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, especially after that I was like, I have to create my own also, what is really, it's not the original idea, because it's when you have virus like this to make zombies and monsters and giant insects, then it's like the first thing many people, especially sci-fi fans, their mind would be the name of Resident Evil. But there is also some Walking Dead series also affected a lot my, like, what kind of zombies I want to create. So, but I don't want to create the slow zombies. Like, I want them to have like evolution, that they get smarter and they are very fast, and in the end they can use weapons and maybe even regenerate their body, so that even when they would be killed, they would get back up again, and then everyone would die because they would not be able to do anything. But this is the more about the thing from the second part, the evolution set. I'm planning to put the name for the second one like because this book name is On a Verge of Destruction, Virus X. Then the second one would be On a Verge of Destruction, Evolution Set. Like set is mean a zombie, but it's more cool to put just that one letter, to be a little similar with the Virus X name, but because the Virus X2 didn't look so nice, so I wanted to get something else. So the last part of trilogy, the name might be even like might be something like After Destruction, or because this is like Dawn of Destruction, like I say, On a Verge of Destruction. So but I don't have no idea the name of the last book yet, because I have to make the second book before I know that if I gonna make even third one. Or maybe I gonna make some shorter spin-offs for this franchise, what I try to make here now. So after 10 days I'm gonna talk about in my new live stream about my older book Octorania, but it's gonna be in a Finnish, but I'm also planning to make live stream of that in English also. But my English spelling is very difficult and slow, so but I don't need to talk too fast either. It's not but I think we have but when I think about my story, like my characters, like Butterfly Man, I mean the name Butterfly Man is more like taken from some fairy tales, like it's too childish name, so in English it's supposed to be the Mothman, because he have wings like a moth. So this is really much idea coming from like movies like The Fly from the 80s, with Jeff Goldblum as the main character, who's the scientist who got this capsule where he teleport him into other capsule and then accidentally fly end up in the same spot, same with him, and then when he transformed to other or teleport then his DNA was mixed by human and fly DNA. So that's very creepy movie. I mean, like a sad end really in that movie, but I highly recommend that movie to see, to having some similarities with the creation of that kind of monsters, what I'm also creating here. So, and then this idea of giant insects also coming from Starship Troopers. But, or some fantasy games where are big insects, and in the Fallout games also they had the big insects like giant scorpions and everything, whatever, and so on and so on. But never forget the alien, because it's also, because in the alien movies those xenomorphic creatures are a little bit reminding us as ants, like they having nest and then they multiply and whatever. Then it, of course, I recommend for everyone the movie called Species from 1995, I think. It was also like there was a girl who suddenly become a very fast adult, and then she also transformed to like alien, like a monster. During she tried to make a baby with men, then to create more monsters like that. But really, that's a really good movie. I mean, also not forget the movie like a Mimic, where they have like a giant cockroaches who try to mimicking like humans. Like when they standing, it looks like it's someone with black jacket, like not. But when they open the wings, then people realize that, oh, it's a giant cockroach, and oh my god, and things like that. And when I'm creating big spiders here, I'm also always had this arachnophobia myself, but I wanted to bring them here also in my book. So many things happening in this book. It's really much action-packed book. It's you cannot much rest there. It's gonna always happen something what you never expected, and then and then this main character, Emilia Black, she will come something. She gonna have some kind of abilities like telekinesis and can blow up bodies by her mind, things like that. But that was really big spoiler from later. I mean, but that's all. I hope you enjoyed. Watch this later, if because you wasn't able to join this now. Please do not watch this Facebook video after, because it's terrible quality. So because the connection is so bad, so I put this video on a but I also recorded my phone to my YouTube channel, so you can watch it from there. So see you next time. Bye. Stop.